Today I am going to discuss about skeletal system. The topic of my discussion is skeletal system. It's a brief discussion or an introductory discussion rather. So by definition it is the hard part which is present inside or outside the body. Human skeleton is made up of bones and some cartilages. There are total 206 bones. So if we talk about the parts of the skeletal system, it is divided into two parts: axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. In my previous slide, I have discussed about the parts of the skeletal system. Now I will talk about the types of the skeletal system. Skeletal system is basically of two types. One is exoskeleton, another is the endoskeleton. Difference between exoskeleton and endoskeleton. Exoskeleton, it is found outside the body, and endoskeleton is found inside the body. It is ectodermal in nature. Endoskeleton is mesodermal in nature. Exoskeleton is non-living, endoskeleton is living. Exoskeleton examples, we have scales, nails, hair, feather, etc. And examples of endoskeletons are bones and cartilages. Scales is an example of exoskeleton found in fish, nails in humans, hair in human. Scales, if we talk about scales, scales are the outer part of a fish. If we remove the flesh out of the fish, we find the bony part inside, which is known as the endoskeleton. Functions of the skeletal system. Skeletal system gives support to the body. It gives protection to the internal organs and helps in the locomotion, that is movement. So functions of the skeletal system: it gives mechanical protection to the internal organs, like the skull protects our brain. The thoracic cage protects our heart and the lungs. Skeletal system is a supporting framework. It gives shape and form of the body. It provides support for the attachments of muscles to the bones. Bone marrow. Skeletal system, more appropriately the bones, acts as hematopoietic tissue and forms the RBCs, which is the red blood cells or the red blood corpuscles or the erythrocytes. It helps in the hematopoiesis of the new blood cells and formation of granular leukocytes. Skeletal system helps in breathing. The ribs and the sternum plays an important role in the breathing movements of the chest. Skeletal system helps in hearing. Ossicles of the middle ear vibrate to produce sound. Sound production. Many cartilages together coordinate in making sound vibrations like cricoid, arytenoids and thyroid cartilage. These are present in our neck. These are the cartilage. They work coordinately to produce sounds, and vocal cords is among them, but I am not discussing about the vocal cord because that doesn't come under the skeletal system. So the sound vibe production is also is controlled by the skeletal system, but not the bony part. It is the cartilaginous part or the cartilages which work coordinately to produce the sound, such as cricoid, adenoids and thyroid. Now, the parts of the skeletal system. The first part, the axial skeleton, position longitudinal axis of the body, includes the skull, vertebral column, ribs and the sternum. Total number of bones 80. Children's have 87 bones, cranium 8, face 14, ear ossicle 6, hyoid 1, vertebrae 26, sternum 1, ribs 24. These are the number of bones. Of the axial skeleton. I will use a model for demonstration of this is actually a model, not a human skeleton. Human skeleton, but it's a model, not an original skeleton. So axial skeleton comprises of the cranium. Cranium has got 8 bones, face which has 14 bones, ear ossicles, hyoid bone which is missing in this model, vertebrae together form the vertebral column. Individual vertebra makes a vertebral column, starting from the cervical, thoracic, lumbar and sacrum, and finally the coccyx. Sternum and the ribs. These are the bones of the axial skeleton. Next slide. Now the appendicular skeleton. It is along the transverse axis of the body. Includes 2 types of girdles and limb bones. 2 types of girdles, pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle, the head of the femur attaches with the pelvic girdle and the head of the humerus attaches with the pectoral girdle. So 2 types of girdles, and also the limb bones. Limb bones means hand and the leg. So total number of bones in the appendicular skeleton is 126, and axial skeleton has got 80 bones. So summary of the total bones. Total number of bones in human endoskeleton are: axial skeleton has got 80 bones, and appendicular skeleton, which is comprised of both upper extremity and lower extremity, means upper extremity and lower extremity. Axial skeleton has got 80 bones and appendicular skeleton has got 126. Total makes 206 bones. Lower extremity comes under the appendicular skeleton. So today's takeaway: intervertebral discs. I'll use this model to demonstrate some of these important takeaways. Intervertebral disc. These are the disc-like structure present inside the vertebra or between 2 vertebra. This space is occupied by the intervertebral disc. Slipped disc. What is a slipped disc problem? If by any trauma or accident this intervertebral disc gets displaced, then this is known as slip disc and results in, it creates a problem to the spinal cord and also to the spinal nerves, because if the intervertebral disc gets displaced, automatically the spinal cord is in a serious condition because spinal cord is present inside this vertebral column. Sacrum, this is the sacrum bone. This is shorter and this is shorter and wider in female because for giving birth. Gorilla ribs is an extra found in some humans. Stapes is the smallest bone of the human body. Femur is the longest bone. This is the longest bone of our body, which comes under the appendicular skeleton. Shin bone, the tibia. Osteology is the study of the bones, and last is the arthrology, the study of the joints.